Hello, and welcome along to another episode of Elsewhither. You have no idea how hard it was to get to this point. Today's episode is called Oasis. What the hell happened long ago in last episode?
It was the aftermath of the end of the fight with the Elder Brain, and more importantly, to I think all of us, Corrie's death.
Indeed. Whilst you were dealing with the aftermath and pain, obviously some of the freed, those who had been enslaved, mostly adventurers, sort of regained their mental capacity. You saw them breaking into groups, adventuring groups, their past adventuring groups that they had arrived in. But one person was separated out, her group not present. And we got to meet Mark's new character. Isn't that exciting? So after meeting Nika, who you could see had a reputation for a bit of healing, a bit of kindness, a bit of aid to keep the people who had been enslaved well, you guys collected Corrie's body and some loot, and headed back through the mines. What next?
I probably will skip something in this, but then we eventually fight flying porcupines.
I think you definitely erected a tower. Did that thing first. Sure. Introduced Nika to the tower. Put Corrie in an ice box.
Basement, right?
Yeah, in the basement. And then you fought flying porcupines.
Fenric wanted to sleep in the ice box because it was, a free.
And Fenric also moved on in the religious cycle of the aspect of the moons. From. Well, I really should know it. No. Let me. I really should know these.
Okay.
Moved on from Quan to Gaycelia, from child to mother.
Ding, ding, ding.
Don't ask what the other two are called. I definitely do know. We witnessed Fenric sort of moving to another phase of life, really. This was a little bit like I don't know about a coming of age, but because that was quite a long time ago, but a sort of moving past those early 20s and realizing the graveness of life and bill paying and such things. It happens to people between the age of 25 and 30, I think, for most of us. He hit that stage and he was like, Mother, I need you. And I'm not surprised.
Okay.
I think there was a turn to a more gentle goddess. Someone who acknowledged the harsher sides of life as well as the joy. I think is a nice way of putting it. Obviously, we had a nice little group bonding session in the parlor, which some people did say some things, and others avoided greatly. And then you guys moved out and fought some flying porcupines. The Quillzock. Quite frighteningly, with their tiny little wings, fly, I think it's 80 feet, shoot nasty little poisonous barbs, and definitely just aren't very nice. But they're cool colors. It's got that going for them. Did you do anything else, session? Or is that where we ended?
That was where we ended. I think the only other thing that happened in the mine was we met Namros, who told us to come get our title.
Ah, yes,
Right.
Yeah, that did happen. He was a fairly powerful adventurer who headed back to Dargle Imvar, the capital, and said that he would beseech the lords on your behalf to give you title. Yes, well, one knight can give another knight a knighthood, sort of thing, isn't it? That sort of logic. There's the Quillzock. Terrifying creature, isn't it? Can it fly? Anyway, and then that's where we left off. So that is where we will resume. And I believe the plan
journey to Toothy's area, basically? Like,
Well, you had
Yeah.
started off
City, right?
towards Tharoon, no?
Yeah, we were gonna head up there first.
I believe you were going to
Go
do
across.
this.
oh
and
yeah,
then
that's
this.
right. We're going up and
Yeah.
across.
I hope so, because
That's right.
otherwise the
Yep.
title doesn't make any sense.
That's right. You're
If
Yeah.
there's an oasis
Sorry,
there and you
sorry.
go that way, it's really not going to be very relevant. Notably, also avoiding. Well, I mean, you wouldn't get that close, but Nika's home is over
the
here.
Orklands. Yeah.
Yeah. So going a little bit of a wide berth around up to here. Okay. As you are traveling gently along the road, it begins to get warmer. You're not quite at the oppressive heat of the desert, but you're aware that you can't be far from it. Instead, you're entering this sort of savannah-esque place. You can see that there is some life. There's the odd sort of large palm tree, etc. There's a smattering of green shrubland, small bits of rough plant breaking through the tough, sandy ground. A lot of this is sort of up, down, sort of not even dunes, just gentle sort of rises and falls. This is difficult to travel. And I think it's sort of at this line along Tharoon, really, and down to Zethra, which is what marks I'm a bit of an intrepid explorer. I'm going to go and visit Tharoon's markets to, oh my goodness, I need to have read a book and bought 3 different outfits for this journey, and a special pair of shoes. You are approaching the reason why it's called the Savage West is because the lands are savage and people tend not to try and tame them. It's just more effort than it's worth. Certainly, you have now passed the line at which Kazan's army ever made any progress. There are a few sort of refugees who found home here, a few prisoners of war who haven't returned, but there are no signs of actual battle along these lines. And as you travel up to the north, probably just Pietro and Fenric. Can I take a Constitution save from?
Constitution save, you say?
Yeah, it is a difficult journey. It's tough traveling. You're dreadfully thirsty. I don't see whatever everybody's day.
It's a 25 from Pietro.
Yeah, Pietro's a stoic kind. You may have visited the deserts of Halion in Baldania a couple of times, and you were a bit used to that. Fenric, how did you do?
Now one.
Lovely. Well, now we at least get to see what you were saving against. Yeah, for Fenric, I think there's a casual attitude to traversing all kinds of terrain, all kinds of wilderness. You've coped with everything so easily in terms of journeying and survival that this comes as a complete shock. You're sort of skipping up and down the dunes, and then suddenly the skip starts to slow. You're feeling very thirsty. You go to drain your water skin; it's empty. I'm
much more used to forests.
Yeah, a wave of exhaustion hits you. This is really tough.
You mean a real wave?
Oh yeah.
You mean a card wave?
Just a card of exhaustion. Yes. So a reminder that's a -1 to all D20 tests and to your DC. I don't think you have anything where the DC is relevant, but even so. Yeah, and at this point, even the more seasoned of you, I would say that Nika and Toothy, it's probably been a little while since you were traversing in this area. And I would assume Vel'zekiss, it's been far longer than that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he probably comes from somewhere slightly in the sort of middle zone where it's a little bit swampier and things yet. You know what I mean? But I would have wandered around over here and had some tough times, but not had any desire to come back in a long while.
Yeah, and at this point, I'll take a Constitution save from the three of you, but I will say, Toothy, I think it's been the shortest time for you, so you may roll with advantage.
Fancy.
You will gain no
James-
benefit from being somewhat close to Toothy.
While they're rolling, I wanted to ask, is now about the time that my book of travels is going to start?
Is it for the
proving
desert?
useful? Yeah.
Yes. It's getting, I mean, realistically, I mean, it's fairly obvious on the map that this right here is the desert land, and you guys are going here. But you're at least beginning to see bits of the survival guide's advice on dealing with heat, on not expecting a journey to be a certain distance, and that the land can be deceptive. You're beginning to see a bit more of that. How do we do on our con saves?
16.
13.
16, 13, and... Toothy?
26.
Okay, yeah, that's as expected. Mika, it's been a little while since you really have been traveling anywhere. I think that despite being left standing, you weren't given regular exercise. You know, there may be a bit of a, what do you call it? The opposite of muscle buildup. Muscle
Atrophy.
atrophy. There
Atrophy,
we go.
or
Yeah, a
decay.
little bit of muscular atrophy here as you sort of go up the next rise. You sort of stumble for a moment and go to catch your breath, and you're thinking, God, this is home. Is this tough? And you will also receive a level of exhaustion. Well, Toothy and Pietro, you guys did so well. Will each of you roll me a D100, please? Mark's somehow outfoxed me. I can't get the exhaustion card to stick on his character. There we go. It's sliding around it. I was like, what is this? Rico, what did you get?
A 51.
Okay. As you guys are sort of heading up this slow rise, and the sun sort of beating down on you, you hear that sort of wind begins to build up a little to the side, and suddenly, with almost no warning, there is a sweeping sand wave sort of coming from your west, so from your left as you travel. You guys are only catching the very tail edge of it. You know this is a desert storm that is just about moving over here. But it's just a little dusty, a little ugh, you know, it's just sand everywhere. It's not in your eyes. You can't not see or anything, but it's not very nice. And Toothy, what did you get?
70.
70. Interesting. I've made this unclear in my notes. Do you want to go up or down?
Let's go up.
Okay, you're dodging the nice and heading with a 71 level. I don't know why I've written these as a little more ambiguous in their numbering. So yeah, with a 70/71, you see a small nomadic tribe who are obviously sort of also dealing with the desert sands, and they seem to be heading up from Lurzan to Tharu. And they've got these wonderful mounts, which will make you guys give a little bit of a double take at Vel'zekiss. These strange two-footed lizards with large back legs and sort of forward heads that look a little dinosaur-esque. They've got these sort of long, thin necks, but realistically, from the back, they're not particularly dissimilar to Vel'zekiss. It's only from the front that they look completely different with their long necks. And they are holding these sort of large packs on their back. These are the pack animals of the people who are moving. The people seem to be mostly human-ish, though much darker of skin than you're used to seeing. And this sort of 15 or 16 of them traveling. They all look of a similar height, adult in years, but they all travel separately, and each one of them has one of these lizard mounts next to them.
How large are these mounts? Like horse sized or
No.
smaller?
I would say sort of maybe 4.5 foot, 4 foot to the shoulder, and then the neck sort of stretches out in front.
Yeah.
In length, maybe 7 or 8 feet from, or maybe even a little bit more from tail tip to head because of the long neck and the long tail. But they're sort of akin to a donkey that's been tilted on its side, like diagonally. You know what I mean? Like, because they're this shape, not that shape. But yes, they're sort of donkey-esque in size. And for reference, they are perhaps what happened there? Perhaps a mile to your northwest. So you could, you will catch them in time. If you wish. You can also sort of just keep to the east of them. One thing worth mentioning in these areas, there are no paths. There is not even the sign of a trail. Mostly because the land shifts. It's very sad. Oh, very sandy, very dusty. As if there was a trail, somebody's missed it and they've walked slightly to the left or slightly to the right. So regular traversal has not created a natural path. And indeed, as you watch this group to your northwest, you will see them winding a little in their path, as if they know exactly where they're going. But to you guys, it just, doesn't necessarily seem like a straight path.
Do either of you know these people?
Nika, you can give me a culture check, please. We put those on your sheet.
We didn't.
Just give me a charisma check. I don't think there's any way you're proficient in it.
Cool.
Decided for you there, sorry. But I don't think there's any way you're proficient in it. You've just spent 7 years as a mind slave. You know that there are many tribal folk, nomadic folk, traveling folk all around the Savage West. It's not particularly dissimilar not particularly unusual to see humanoids of darker skin, human-ish characters. You recall something about them having some sort of innate magic relating to the sun or the sky, or there's something like that, but you can't grasp the details any more than that. Mark, sorry, just before you respond, very quickly, do you have any other skills that need adding? Did you cook but not alchemize? Is that right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Let me just do your cooking, and your other skill. Okay. Sorry, Mark. Carry on.
Oh, I do not know them. Spent much of my time working the fields, and my father was not very good at the schooling.
I see. Well, are we to be weary of other travelers we meet out here?
I believe everyone is weary around here, but they may be kind enough in turn.
Vel'zekiss, I think this is probably you that might know this. Give me a culture check with advantage.
16.
Yeah. Wow, that's a fairly low roll for you, I think. You are aware that there's a very traditional system where if you travel near, it's traditional to defend each other from incoming animals or monsters, etc. But groups don't normally just stop on the road for a chat. That being said, there are plenty of meeting points, outposts, crossroads, etc., where groups will stop, and there it is common to trade news and trade stories. Traditionally in the Savage West, the hardship of just traveling denies the opportunity for an easy conversation. It's seen as a luxury to be able to stop and chat about news, which should only be done at oases or crossroads or small villages or in there's these strange, I don't think you'd know the name for them, but you know that they're sort of like single large tents, a bit like marquees, I guess, that are put up on the side of the road and maintained by all travelers that pass them. They offer a little bit of shelter. There's often a few bedrolls, sometimes, a vat of water, etc. You'd probably know them as trade posts. Book boy, give me a history check with advantage, Pietro, because that will be in your desert book.
22.
Yeah. So they're called musses. Yes, musses. And those are the trading posts.
Masses.
It would be out of the ordinary to speak to them out here in the open unless there was some threat we needed to help them with. The Savage Lands are not one for conversation when there are other things going on. And I wouldn't want you to get any ideas talking to them. I only carry the group metaphorically.
Understood.
Can you imagine
Perhaps
just
we've...
put a pack on Vel'zekiss.
Nevertheless, they seem to know where they're going. Perhaps we... follow.
I think that would require us knowing where they're going. It might not be where we want to go.
You would all know at this point that they could only be going to the city, but they seem to be taking a sort of strangely slightly widening path. It may be a little tiring to follow, but there may be a reason for it. There may not.
I mean,
I
I
suppose if
figure,
we keep our distance.
yeah, do as the locals do, follow their path, but at a decent distance.
Okay.
So as to not concern them.
Yeah. Do we have anyone proficient in survival?
Yep.
I'm sure we do.
Yes.
Is that 3 or 4? Vel'zekiss, did you say yes as well? No, okay.
No.
So Toothy, Fenric, and Nika. You can all give me a survival check here.
Definitely the worst out of all of us, but
29.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought for once I was going to beat you on one of these. It's like, I got a 23. I have a chance.
He's a roll, right? He doesn't roll when he does roll, but when he does roll, he knows what he's doing. So Nika and Fenric, as you travel along, you'll note that they're weaving and waving for 2 reasons. The first is that they never travel directly into, so they never angle to have the sand coming towards them, the winds. They're always slightly to the side of it. So where there's a sort of area of shelter to the left, they'll go a little more towards where the sand would be. And then when there's no shelter, they tip back away to be traveling a little bit away from the sand, which is one of the reasons they're meandering. And the second reason is that, quite simply, they're trying to follow the flattest path. I think Toothy sort of felt the flattest path bit, but maybe missed the sandy in your face thing. I think having fur around your eyes, you can just sort of ignore it. As you guys continue on to the north, you're making fairly good progress, but once again, this is still up, down, round, a little bit. And now I will take the con save from all of you. Toothy, you may continue to roll at advantage. A reminder to Mark and Josh that you will subtract 1 from your result.
Yeah. Got a 9.
Can we add 2 to our save as per Toothy's aura? Is that a thing?
No, as I said earlier, I think this is not something where you're sort of all cuddling up to Toothy going, guide us in not having weary feet. How do we do?
Not great. Not great.
Not great around.
Fenric?
Highest roll was
9.
9, good. You can have another level kind of exhaustion. Toothy?
15.
Ooh, scraping by. Nico?
11.
Vel'zekiss?
12.
Oh, look at this. Pietro?
14.
Clean sweep. That's a lot of them. Toothy sort of, just grinding on by. It's not easy, but he's getting on. The rest of you are just like, what's going on here? It is currently 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And this is just tough. Really tough. And at this point,
I was going to say, I think I start gaining a little momentum and start going forward a bit. And I look back and I go, keep up.
At this point, as you look out to the west, you will be able to see the Oasis just coming into view. It's a little way from you. Perhaps 4.5 miles. You know that Tharun is on the Oasis, but you can start working your way, and indeed you'll see the group in front of you sort of turn quite sharply and begin to head down to the Oasis itself, clearly planning to walk around it, which is a bit easier.
I need water. Water.
Soon.
We are going for water. We should be aware. Many things come here for water.
They do.
Meaning,
Meaning we might find some less than friendly creatures about.
well, that's no problem. Even with this heat, I can still aim my arrows true.
With a -2.
As long as it's
With-
not the Braxat.
As you
Yes.
guys turn a little more, though, you see that the entire shore of the oasis is completely clear but for one creature. Nothing wants to stand in the way of a brass dragon. A huge brass dragon is sort of sat, claws folded in front of him, and head just dunked into the water. You can see the
My
wings.
time has come.
The wings are sort of spread out on the sand of the beach. And you can see this very small file of people who are sort of 400 or 500 yards away, coming down to the water, like sort of wearily looking to the west. You would know that the metallic dragons are, for the most part, kind and benevolent, or at least disinterested. They vary from dragon to dragon, not from species to species. So, with the exception of gold dragons, who tend to be a little more goodly inclined, all the other metallics seem to be nice enough. They'd really rather not have anything to do with humans, and humans would rather not have anything to do with them for the most part.
Good thing we're not humans.
Humanoids. Anyway, you see, one person begins to approach this brass dragon. It is a dragonborn who is approaching, and you can see him get a little close.
What kind of dragonborn?
Perhaps 100 yards from this distance. You can't really tell. You can see the sun glinting off his scales. He could be copper, bronze, brass, gold, maybe even silver with this golden light. Potentially red.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely not black or green.
Or blue.
That's about all you've got. Not those three.
Okay.
He does also have like the typical desert clothing. So he has like a white sort of robe that comes right up to his neck and flows all the way to the ground, all the way down his hand. So you've only got the sort of crest to go on. And as he reaches this dragon, he's going to sort of drop to one knee, and you would imagine he is speaking quietly. You are too far away to know.
Can I ask about the space a little bit? Like, I realize that the oasis as depicted on the map is probably not as large as the actual, like, because the oasis is like a day's walk long. I don't know, or maybe that's correct, but like, is this dragon monopolizing the whole thing, or just like the local access point to the water?
No. So there's all the way along. You can see like Tharoon is literally 10 miles to the north.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Just about see it. It's just where you're coming, where you've reached. The dragon is very specific, like at this point,
Sure.
like right at your closest point. You can easily just carry on walking and go up or past it, or vice versa. But obviously, people have stopped for the spectacle.
Sure.
Yeah, no, this dragon's monopolizing sort of 800 yards of a. I mean, goodness only knows what the circumference is on a 15-mile wide oasis. I don't do maths, but it's probably quite a lot. I would hesitate to guess at 50 miles circumference, roughly. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Can never remember if it's radius by pi or diameter by pi. It's one of the
It's
two.
2r pi or diameter pi.
Okay. So yeah. You guys can just carry on towards the room. You can drop down to the oasis, or if you wish, you may go speak with a brass dragon. Oh, you might have something cool to say. Like, leave me alone.
It's a rare opportunity, but I am exhausted. What do you think? Shall we see what's happening down there?
obviously Nika is not as tuned into like quests and things that we know that are going on. She's probably caught up a little, but like, do we think that another dragon would have information about the black dragon that we're possibly investigating?
That's what I was thinking. I'm sure that they've crossed paths if this dragon is here.
You would assume they would at least know something.
I think I'm gonna look back at Pietro and be like, "You're all exhausted. Do you trust me?"
Is there money involved?
That's a totally fair question.
In a most
alone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tired, but I can travel 400 yards with you.
Okay, just say
Trust
were
you to
hesitant.
do what?
You were hesitant just to ask on our behalf. You were hesitant.
Ask on our
We
behalf
can't
of what?
ask-
To
on
go and
behalf of
ask the
about
dragon
this-
about the
Go
other
and ask the
dragon.
dragon
the black dragon.
Oh,
black
yeah,
dragon,
that's
and
a good idea. You distract it and we'll drink. That's really good thinking, actually. too.
Henrik, are you seeing things? This is no evil dragon. He's a metallic.
And as you say that, you turn, you'll see that this dragonborn is now sort of with what looks to be a cloth polishing the dragon. Anyone been to Dargalimvar? Not in real life, just as a character.
Ah, well then, no, is my answer. My answer
Someone there
changes.
last year.
Pietro only just arrived in Gallania.
Right, so without Pietro, it could only be Vel'zekiss, maybe, who might have headed down.
Yeah, well, it seems somewhat likely that it would have just been some sort of entertainment caravan of some sort.
Yeah, so in Dargalimvar, they have these huge areas which are basically like dragon spas. They have places where they clean dragons, where they polish them, where they get the sand out from between their scales, where dragons can sort of soak in hot water or cold water, and people would attend to them. It's very much the city of dragons. It's known as that. You haven't seen this tradition occur out of there, but it seems to be what's going on. He's, attending to the dragon. That might put the dragon in a better mood. He hasn't eaten the guy, so that's a positive.
I mean, I've seen this sort of thing in the capital. But more of a... Well, would they pay for it? Or is it totally just...
No, dragons
like
don't pay for it.
okay.
They just land and expect people to lavish love upon them. So they're like cats.
It's a bit more of an organized activity there, even if it is done for them freely. I don't think... well, I don't want to do the work.
Don't look at me.
I
You
suppose
don't necessarily have to join in.
Suppose I could magically spritz some water on him or something.
Okay, we will accompany you. Let us go.
Okay.
As you guys head down, you can head down to the Oasis and drink freely, and then move along the beach towards this grand brass dragon.
Does drinking the water remove any
No.
exhaustion?
No, it just tastes good. And anybody who is proficient in nature or has Draconic as a language.
What if you have both of those things?
Yeah, if you get both, can you do advantage?
Yeah. If you have both, you may give me a nature check with advantage. If you only have one or the other, you may just give me a nature check.
Yay.
I don't got none of those things.
We still have the highest check to nature, though, given your age. How do we do?
22.
24.
Cool. Yeah, both of you immediately. We'll be able to work out. This is not an ancient brass dragon, but it is an adult brass dragon. It is large, but not gargantuanly large. And you will see it sort of sinuously twisting its neck in the water. It's quite clearly enjoying the water, the tending, and you will see this dragonborn sort of moving around and sort of using some sort of metal tool that looks a bit like a sickle to sort of get sand out from between the scales. And as you get a little closer, very slowly this head sort of twists and turns and comes out of the water and turns back to you. And who would you be?
Is he asking anyone
The
specifically?
dragon is asking the group of you.
Hello, great worm.
You see this sort of like little appreciative grunt when you speak with proper terms.
We travel these lands, seeking your guidance.
So why else would you travel these lands other than to bathe in the glory of Mithraeus? You would assume that's his name.
Yes, certainly. And I'll give a bow. And I'll smack whoever's
The
standing next to me.
Dragonborn gives you a little appreciative nod and then carries on round. You can see he was really, really careful. The dragon's tail is currently curled and a little off the ground, and he's sort of ducking to go under it, to go to the other side of the dragon. And you can see there's this one moment of absolute fear in his eyes where he's not sure. If the dragon just relaxes a bit, he might get completely squished. But he sort of moves around and carries on to the other side. Do the rest of you bow? Does anybody not bow?
Definitely bow.
Definitely bow.
Fenric? You a bower?
I'll give a little bow.
Okay. And what of Vel'zekiss, the prideful?
He does it, but in a way that is super flowery. That might be hard to tell the difference between whether it's sarcastic or really, really well intentioned.
I bow
Yeah.
sarcastically. I love that. As you guys sort of do so, he says, well, you come for advice, assuming of a more specific nature.
Very astute, a great one. We come to these lands under the guise that there is a black dragon.
Speak
One of
not
your
of that
kin.
foul beast. But speak of it we must. You are right. Grand adventurers, that's who could rid this land of the storm that is that dark and vile beast. I'm afraid I am no match for him.
He's more ancient than you.
He is older and more learned in dragon battle. Kept the peace most of the years, as one should. He, however, has bitten out at other worms throughout his entire life. He is sly and cunning and knows tricks. Though it pains me to say I am outmatched in every way. Oh, of course. And he sort of shrugs his...
Then we should team up and destroy this creature. I say
will
in
not risk
I'll
but
say
a
in
scale.
in
You don't
Draconic.
speak Draconic. A reminder. While you do there, he hits like a dragon. A reminder that languages are but your understanding of the creature. Obviously, some of you do speak other languages. I do understand that, but not in this situation. Anyway, as you say that, he was saying, I will not risk but a scale on that creature. I have had one encounter, and it was one encounter too many. I head to the south.
Think you flee?
You can call it that. I seek my comfort where I'll find it. Do not attempt to manipulate me, little rabbit.
I do not attempt to manipulate anyone. I'm just clarifying. Clarifying you are fleeing.
No, I am but traveling on vacation. He sort of lets out this little grumbling laugh, and you may call it what you wish, but frankly, I did not come to this land to contest that beast, and I do not intend to stay around to do so. I came here for the desert sands amongst my scales, and I head south to return to the comforts of Darkleam.
Well, believe it or not, it is our intention to rid the lands of this foe.
Will not aid you in battle, but you have some magics.
Multi-class into sorcerer for everyone.
Ah, yes, time to become a draconic soul sorcerer. He sort of looks over at you and many of you can impart my will and magic to but one of you.
Oh. Is it the gift of a metallic drug?
Might just be. Say, but will take time and gifts. Alternatively, and tell you where he takes his rest, and you may accost him there with just your own magic and might.
I fear it's not the best idea to seek the dragon in its lair, but I will take the information nonetheless.
He is more vulnerable there to you than you would find him at Wing. Swear. Fear the battle pitched from the sky might be beyond you all, so I could be wrong. Here is
Pietro
a
will
small
float off the
village.
ground a little bit.
There is a small village to the north called Suthak. Nestled between the two peaks is a large crevice big enough for an ancient black dragon to fly between. But a smaller folk like yourself may enter from behind the town of Suthak through the once closed mines. We'll find... through the now closed mines, sorry.
Not the mines. We've had bad luck with those.
Well, these are far less active and not full of deadly mind players. I'm going to say those paths may take you to the lair where you may come upon the beast unexpected. Unexpecting. God, my grammar is awful today. The beast is would not be expecting you.
Hey, it's not your first language, dragon. It's okay.
You would not unexpectedly bump into the creature. Just to give you some mechanics of this, if you wish to spend 24 hours in the company of a brass dragon, just one of you, and you have a suitable gift, you might receive the feat Gift the Metallic Dragon.
Wait, we have to give a gift? Who was offering his gift?
He would offer you his aid in the battle if you have a suitable gift to tempt him. Of course, it's a dragon.
Is
But
he
all
interested
he
in
would
a Great Club +2?
Maybe they do like magical items. They could add it to their
Yeah, they
gift.
like magic items for sure.
Yeah. Do we know, there's the thing of like certain types of dragons prefer certain different things, right?
Yes
Is
and
that a
no. They
thing?
all like magical items. The only exception to that is items that are sort of in tune with their nature. So items of a fiery type might appeal more to a brass dragon. Items of items that call lightning or storms, etc. Not much beyond that. They all like beauty, magic, riches.
Well,
I mean, are we willing to stay here?
I mean, we're all tired anyway, but it's like
It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon right now.
Is the feat useful to anyone?
It's probably the most useful to someone who has the lowest AC because of the reaction.
Or good charisma, right? Because isn't it your charisma, or is it now your?
No,
The
it's proficiency. It's
draconic
proficiency.
healing is in Wiz or Charisma.
Oh, you can choose them. Okay, cool.
And the protective wings are based on proficiency bonus, I think. No, like the AC.
Yes.
yeah, I mean, like it's the protecting is. Oh, right, yourself as well.
Yeah, you can protect.
I was
yourself.
thinking you had to be near people, and I'm never near people, so I wouldn't really care about it. But just getting anybody more cure wins is useful.
Mhm. Cure wounds is always useful.
You can use it using spell slots as well, so it might be
Mhm.
more useful for a caster than a Fenric.
Rude.
You're the only one that can't cast spells.
I think probably Vel has the lowest AC.
It's also not going anywhere. I mean, I'm at 15, which is pretty solid for
Yeah.
a sorcerer because of being a lizard, but
Yeah.
I'm really never going to increase it.
Yeah,
I'm
without
not gonna wear any armor.
potentially a robe or something, but yeah, in general now.
Mhm.
Do you have the shield?
Yes, I have shield, which is right. Going to be
you have shield, so then it's not
stronger a lot of the time.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
until like much later levels.
Anybody just think it's cool for them? Like they're just like, hey, I like the look of the idea of that. You just perhaps want to like forget. I mean, mechanically, obviously, players know what it does, but in
character-wise, I think Pietro would be interested in learning anything from anyone, especially a dragon, a metallic dragon. So, I mean, like throw Pietro's name in that hat.
And putting cure wounds on a wizard is not a bad thing.
Right.
Not a bad thing at all.
I don't think there's any reason for Nika because I have cure wounds and I have shield. So
cure wounds, shield, and 20 odd armor class, right?
18.
Okay. Yes, I think you should stay away from it, personally.
And Jack, Land Hands is bonus action now, isn't it?
Land Hands is a bonus action.
So you're always gonna have a better way to heal people quick in the middle of things.
Although the wings might be nice for Jack. Although,
for sure, right?
I think Toothy has so many cool reactions. Like,
that's true.
Yeah, the Amari action is kind of competed for, like, you know what I mean?
I really only have shield and counterspell.
Do you have an appropriate gift that you wish to offer?
I'm sure we do.
Somebody mentioned a great club.
Not a great club.
We have.
Was it a great club of walloping +2? Is that what you said, Mark?
Yeah, we have a great club +2 in the party inventory.
Oh, just a great club +2. Not it doesn't do anything else. It's just we have that huge hammer that
we have
too heavy to...
We have Hognak's great club. Yes, you need 25 strength to even wield it, or 22 strength to even wield it. I think
you could play. You could present it to be like only someone of your, massive.
Well, guys, we have two
Yeah.
Ioun stones of intellect that I don't think anyone is ever gonna attune to.
Yeah, true.
We've also got the Staff of the Void.
Pietro, you would know immediately. Ioun stones are very highly prized by all dragons. He who has more Ioun stones is closer to being Thanos. They really are. They're all big fan. That is a perfect gift for a dragon. You would know that.
Yeah. I think that's
this guy is also able to utilize magical items without attuning to them. So
Jesus.
Yeah, that is a thing.
Can you teach me how to do that?
You have to be ancient. So this dragon can't do it yet, but ancient dragons can utilize magical items without attuning to them. So they can be pretty cool later on. Approach Pietro. Do the thing. See what.
Yeah, I will rifle through our bag that I think Toothy is holding.
I love the idea that you've got an Ioun stone just in there with all the coins and the food and anything else just floating around. There is that little stone I was looking for.
Two of them. I'll put the one. I'll look at both of them and choose the one that I think is the prettiest and put that one back in Toothy's pack. This one has occlusions, you see. The other one is nearly perfect grade. And I will just approach Mithraesk. I wonder, oh great one, if you would be willing to accept it as a gift. And I'll sort of like telekinesis the stone close to his face, let him get a good whiff of the...
and you see it just sort of stops in front of his eyes and he sort of holds it in place. Yes. Worthy. Truly worthy. We'll give you a great gift. You flew earlier, just a little bit. But you cannot yet manifest wings. Is that right?
No, you are correct. My flight is thanks to this ring, in fact.
Strong magics come from there. But wings would suit you, little one. Let us talk, and I will teach you to manifest this magic. And then, in typical dragon fashion...
In Pietro's mind, sorry, I just want to say, in Pietro's mind, he has never for once thought that wings would suit him, so he's just in the dragon's mind, wings would suit anybody who doesn't have them.
So yeah, and in typical dragon fashion, he will begin to languorously tell you of the use of these wings and how to go about it. After a couple of hours, guys, you'll realize it's probably time to start setting up for the evening. It's going on. It's going on.
At some point, I'm sure I looked at them to be like, "This is gonna take a while. You all should sort of have."
And then after sort of 3.5 hours, he goes, and so we get to the beginning of the... And then sort of starts from there, and you're going, I see. Yes, by this time, the Dragonborn sort of comes over, and he gives a little nod, and I'm so sorry to interrupt, Great One, but I must return to my people. He looks down, and are kind, Bamas. Thank you. Bamas will look at you and say, I've just realized how dodgy that name sounds when I read it like that. It says Bamas, but I said it like Bamas. And then just sort of this little twitch. I wrote it down, or I didn't look funny when I wrote it down.
The name is Bam.
Yes, Bamas. As Bamas looks at you, he sort of wish you well in your studies. And he will head back to his people with no further information. What's the plan, guys? You gonna set up a tower on the shore?
I mean, having our tower associated with the appearance of a brass dragon at the watering hole sounds like a pretty good idea.
Oh yeah, let him know that we're no.
It would impress him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Indeed.
And all the other people watching.
When you summon it, he will sort of vicious star.
I call it the Tower of Vel'zekiss, but same thing.
From all the way over there. Vel'zekiss just shouts it out from the doorway.
I have an amplification. I have an amplification crystal.
As he sort of rumbles this out quietly to Pietro. I thought them lost. Mighty group you are. Perhaps you will stand a chance against our nemesis. You will note that at no point does he name the Black Dragon.
Hoping that he was going to say something at some point.
It's clear to you that they haven't stopped and exchanged names. There's also this strange myth. It's mostly chromatic dragons that believe in it, that there is power in a dragon's name, that you can use it to command it or call it or curse it, etc. The metallic dragons don't believe this and give their names quite freely. But some of the chromatic dragons, especially the darker ones, seem to think that they're more mysterious if they're just the Black Storm, which is what this one is going by, the Black Storm, by the way. Really inventive. There was a blue storm literally like 3 miles down the road. But nevertheless, you guys take a long rest. I do not deal out your exhaustion cards. I need each of you who has an exhaustion card, apart from Rico, to make a con save. To see how well you manage to rest through the night with your aching body and your parched tongue. So everybody other than...
Making this save before the long rest or after?
Before. Well, during, technically. But you will still have the exhaustion cards.
Okay, but would my item have recharged?
What's your item?
My owlbear armor.
Does it say...
Once per long rest, I can succeed on a con save.
Oh, and you've used it today on the poison. No, you won't be able to use it till the following day.
What about Tides of Chaos?
You can Tides of Chaos this.
11.
Okay.
5.
5. Rough.
Well, -2, so yeah.
Yeah. Josh, did you include the -2?
Yeah.
Okay, then 11 and a 22 are both a success. You will lose up to 2 exhaustion cards. You can deal them out. 5 isn't, Mark. You can lose 1.
Okay. Also, question while we're hanging out here and Pietro is taking his lessons, am I able to spend some time with the Tome of Understanding?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. You can complete that. It's 8 hours, right?
No, it's 48 hours over a period of 6 days.
Okay. Yeah, I will say that by the time you guys leave Tharoon, you will have completed that. Let's put it like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Cool. So I'll just make a note that when we exit there, I'll mark it off.
Yep. Fantastic.
Cool.
So yeah, you will always going to lose a level of exhaustion. It's just whether you manage to get the full, beautiful, happy night's sleep for 2. It's quite easy, and you have a bedroom, right? Does Fenric have a bedroom?
No, I'm poor.
Who took Boxxo's room? That Vel'zekiss?
Joe, yeah.
Vel took Boxxo's room. Pietro had his own room. Is that
Got it
right?
right.
Correct.
We just had the 2 rooms. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not even saying Pietro's room. He's not even there.
So yeah, I will say that you did that because otherwise you would only have lost 1 level of exhaustion anyway. You need a bedroom to lose 2. So technically, I shouldn't have even given you a roll, but you failed it anyway, Mark. So that's fine. Yeah. Cool.
Before I sleep, I'd like to go to the top of the tower and just talk to Gasilia, kind of half complaining about the environment, but kind of like ending it with, I'm sure that, this like benefits some people and flora and animals and creatures and stuff, and so like
I will say, when you get to the top of the tower, suddenly the environment feels a little different. First of all, it's a lot cooler now at night, but as you look out, you see the moon sort of shining down on the oasis. You see the rife colours all around the shore of the flowers. You see these sort of large cactuses growing up, these huge plants. I mean, you can see these sort of purple flowers that are sort of almost 20 foot in diameter, the flower itself, sort of attached to this bush. And just in the distance, you can see the shimmering rooftops, the multicolored rooftops of Tharoon. And then down next to you, you can see this beautiful brass dragon stretched out along the beach, sort of tail swishing in the water, resting on his head and resting his head in his hands and speaking, or claws or paws or whatever you call them, speaking to Pietro. And it's really beautiful scene. So perhaps that might be your a counterpart to how shitty a day it was to travel in.
sure.
Yeah, as you reach out to get sitting, give me a D100.
$22.
The moons are very present tonight. It is clear that the goddess is everywhere, but still no special connections. Pietro, I need a con save, please.
On save.
Yeah, you're staying up 24 hours.
That's 13.
-1. Your exhaustion card means it's a 12, which means you can have another one. Isn't that exciting?
Lovely.
Yeah. As the sun rises, guys, and you will wake up and look out the tower. The brass dragon seems not in the slightest bit tired, still rambling on. You just see Pietro. Okay. Oh, right, good. You see at one moment Pietro try and manifest a wing. This little tiny flappy wing comes out of his shoulder. It goes back in. The dragon sort of not quite what we're looking for, is it?
Looks like a Kozak.
80 feet of flying speed if you get that. After another couple of hours, Pietro, he was saying, now we'll move on to the healing aspect of the great dragon's power. And he sort of, I'm sorry, do you tire, young one? Do you perhaps wish to partake in a meal at your tower and return in a short while?
Perhaps, yes, a short respite for some sustenance.
Good, I will hunt. And then he sort of leaps into the air, like with no warning at all, that are pushing you back to the ground and flies off at the speed of light to the west. And by the time you've even come back to the tower, he is already holding what is clearly someone else's camel in his mouth, and sort of comes and lands at the side and starts to eat away. Property is not the dragons aren't very strong on the details of property, unless it's their property. But yes, Pietro, you may convene within the tower with everybody else for some breakfast.
Good evening, everyone. Or is it the morning?
Is indeed morning.
Yeah, I think it's morning.
How was your night of learning?
It was.
Great. Are you ready to set off?
My lesson is only half over.
Like a uni student that partied too hard instead of a lecture. Oh, it's only halfway through. Beautiful.
Has anyone prepared any breakfast?
Ooh, great question. So, yesterday lunchtime, Boothie prepared pies.
Oh, yeah.
In an attempt to sort of recreate what Corrie did. Mika, obviously you would have eaten one of these, been suitably slightly unimpressed. And also perhaps not understanding the significance, really just wondered, like, why do they let this guy cook? Do you think it's fair that Nika might have, given her rough night's sleep, perhaps been up early and made use of the kitchen?
Well, we don't have a kitchen in the tower. Corrie was just kind of doing his own thing.
Right.
So I almost imagine that she would have gone outside and like prepared a little like campfire that she's used to.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm supposing that on the you guys have probably got some I don't know, some Quillzock meat or something. You can skewer over.
Don't we still have that those Brax set?
Those
Steaks?
Yeah, they expired.
Oh, fuck.
There was a time on them.
They were good.
They were good.
Yeah. Alternatively, you can head down to the Oasis. There's plenty of sort of very relaxed wildlife. So you can sort of skewer, I don't know, some sort of lazy creature that's just lying there eating. Just sticking over the fire. I don't know.
The equivalent of like a capybara or something.
Yeah, exactly. There's just one sort of really lazy creature just lying there, drinking with one head sort of leaning in the water. You just walk over and lazily sort of. You can skewer it with the skewer you're going to put it over the cook fire with, you know, just straight away. Meat is easy to achieve here, and there's also some decent vegetation in the area. Why don't you give me a cooking check? If you don't have the skill, you can refresh your page and it will appear.
Yep, I found it.
In your
that
notes,
is...
can you at some point put cooking 3 for me? Oh,
yeah.
You can come in strong.
23.
You guys can take 9 max HP for the day. It's pretty good.
And as she is doing this, there is a little ember that's kind of moving around and like tending the fire as she goes. I see him almost as like Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle. As there's this little being who's like going around and like tidying up the edge of the fire. So like anytime like a piece of a log will kind of fall out, he'll go and like scurry and like push it in and like keep a very tidy fire around her cooking. But yeah.
So when Pietro asks, has anybody provided breakfast? I suppose you can respond.
Indeed, there's a bit of a vegetable peel off here, as well as meat from an animal. I don't recall what it was, but it was an easy enough hunt early in the morning. Almost seemed like it was taking a nap.
You made all this, Nika?
Yes, I often had to prepare my own meals over the years, so while not particularly skilled in feeding large groups, and I know how to cook off of a campfire. Here, please enjoy.
Thank you. It's good. As Pietro stuffs his face.
It is very good. Yeah. 9 max HP good. It's pretty tasty. Oh, it wasn't 9 though, was it?
Oh yeah, we gotta subtract.
Guys, go ahead and lower it to 8 because Nika was still very tired. Yes. Also, worth mentioning. So you guys have like a couple of rooms that you purchased And then you've also got like this sort of wide open space, the rest of the stone tower. Since you got it, the Hellhound has just been running laps around it. Like crazy. Like a crazy ass Jack Russell of the Hellhound variety. It's just sort of like barking at walls, it's chewing on rocks, it's just the thing's just absolutely insane. But anytime any of you come near, it sort of rushes out in front of you, throws itself on its back and does this, its paws, looking for a belly rub. It is absolutely pathetic. So you may endear yourself to it or not, however you please. We will zoom through the next 7 hours of Pietro sitting on the beach and you guys going, oh my god, how long are we going to sit in this tower and wait? And at 4 o'clock in the afternoon the following day, the lesson will be finally over. And Mazrea sort of looks, well, I'm afraid I must travel to the south. Sorry to keep our lessons so brief, but I hope that you have learned something.
Betcha.
A pleasure to meet you, Pietro. I hope that the Unchained make waves in the world, and that they show off their prowess to everybody, and you take down that nasty piece of work in the mountains.
You are too kind, and if we do, I'll be sure that they know that we were guided by the hand of a Mithraesk.
Almost could not have possibly done it without me. And you begin to realize that there is a level of sarcasm to this dragon. It's aware of what a silly, of the silliness of its pride, but it still revels in it. Yeah, just a quick note. He will also tell you a couple little things. That the Black Dragon has been terrorizing the people from Korak to Lareth, to Sheveth, and all the way up to Murak Velmar and Tharath. So all in this sort of, I suppose it's a pentagon in the vaguest of senses. It has 5 sides. So all in this area, he's been absolutely terrorizing the people. He has been sort of snatching people from campfires. He's been demanding tithes. And the Brass Dragon will tell you that a few of the villages have taken to offering prisoners of war out. As sort of like leaving them out as offerings to the dragon. Because they think that it will bring aid from the east, because they'll want to rescue their own people, which is the same thing that you heard from that guy at the last Oasis. But also they sort of feel like the Dragonborns and their dragon religion have been brought upon their lands, and that has caused this. This Brass Dragon Mithraesk is very intelligent and sort of can read all these things into it, and during the lesson sort of tangents off and tells you all about this, and then comes back to it. And, Pietro, despite his weary eyes, will be able to take all of that in. You guys are able to learn a little bit about the Black Storm and then head off to Tharoon. It is a 12-mile hike along the edge of the Oasis. You'll be dodging some large crocodiles, some various market-visiting nobles who've come down to the more beautiful areas, and all sorts else besides. But unless there's anything specific you guys want to do, you may arrive at Tharoon. Anything specific?
Is it? No, never mind.
As you approach Tharoon, you will very quickly notice the myriad of painted rooftops. They're in blues and oranges and yellows and reds. Everything is built in sandstone, and then on top of that, they've sort of painted these different colors. There's some sort of mythology that says it wards off predators, but honestly, it just looks nice at this point. You will see one building stands above the rest, and I don't just mean that this one happens to be the tallest tower. There is actually one building that is sort of much larger, this sort of grand palace, if you will, of Tharoon. And then before it is just the largest market, probably that you guys have seen. It's all an open air sort of souk. You guys are arriving about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. Do you want to browse the markets? Do you want to find a tavern? Do you want to set up the tower outside and go in the following day? What's your thoughts?
Well, Pietro's too tired to think, so he's quite literally just half-lidded, following you guys, waiting for you to make the decisions.
Let us rest again.
Okay. So yeah, you guys can take a long rest outside. You can deal out all your levels of exhaustion. And we will keep the 8 HP max buff, so you can just reapply it. I'm assuming Nika's breakfast will be just as great the second time round. Oh, I didn't even know you guys could do that. Deal them outside the bounds of the map.
Oh, is that what I did? Sorry.
Oh, both of you did. I didn't even know it was possible. What it did was change the background color. That's odd. I don't even know how that is a thing, but whatever. Yeah, cool. And with that, the following morning you can head down, and you will see that this town is absolutely bustling. The population here, according to your document, according to your map, is about 9,500, but it is clear that at any given moment there are more people here than live here. As you see that people from villages all around have sort of come in to access the markets. The majority of the things selling in the markets are foodstuffs. You will find spices and beans and rices and grains and unusual breads and then a lot of jewelry. Oh, did I just move the whole map? My bad. You'll see lots of like jewelry and little bits of worked gold. Gold seems to be rife here. And this is the only place in the Savage West that uses silver and gold as a currency. Everywhere else they trade things to things. But here people do come to the market, and you do see there's a lot of people selling their goods in exchange for money, to then use the money to buy things, because obviously money's not something they have outside of this place. Most of the locals, and Toothy I imagine will be one of them, kind of see this as totally pointless. Like, why do I have to go and trade my sheep for some weird little stack of stuff that I then go and give the weird stack of stuff to the person I want to buy stuff from? Why don't I just give the sheep to the person I want the thing from? It seems like this needless second step. To the rest of you, it would make perfect sense. I can't give half my sheep to the bean salesman and half my sheep to the bread salesman. But it seems like in Toothy's mind, it's just this really weird extra step that is totally pointless.
Do we think that the prices for like stuff we would want to sell is way better if we wait back to a real city?
So that depends entirely on the nature of what you want to sell. So simpler stuff will sell for much more here than it will in the city. If you're selling regular weapons, if you're selling jewelry, if you're selling gems, that sort of stuff, you will sell way better here. If you're trying to sell avoid stuff, you would have a hard time getting its true worth here, just because nobody here needs one right now. That's the thing. It really is supply and demand. And you will find that buying things as well. You can buy simpler stuff for way cheaper in smaller towns, villages, and markets. In cities, simpler stuff way cheaper in cities, and unusual goods way cheaper in the small markets and towns, because they don't really have a demand. They're not selling 47 magical items. The bean salesman has got 5 little magical beans in a bag and is going, see this rare item. Will anybody please, the love of God, take it off my hands? It's very much like that. Is there anything specific we're looking for in the market, or are we mostly looking to offload?
I think we definitely should buy some potions, because we went through a lot in the mines and we don't currently have an alchemist.
We have things to offload, like in terms of like more simple items. Like we've got some like plain weapons. We've got sapphires.
Right, just give them me one by one. What are you trying to offload?
I'll start from the bottom. Let's go with a short sword.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, that is not the level of starting that I was expecting. Bear with me a second. I'll open the non-magical goods document. That totally took me by surprise.
No, yeah, I was talking about non-magical.
Yeah, okay, yeah, bear with me. I'll just open that instead. I was expecting a short sword plus. No, you just stopped at short sword.
None of that.
Where are we? Weaponsmith. Short sword. Yeah, 2 silver pieces.
Okay, a short sword, a long sword, and a dagger are 3 things.
Long sword is 3 silver pieces. Dagger is very cheap, 2 copper.
Okay, well, 5 silver pieces, 2 copper so far. How about a set of thieves' tools?
Does somebody else want to keep track of the amount of gold while Rico removes things from the goods? Yeah, thieves' tools are 15.
Track of all this shit.
Right, 15 gold pieces.
Oof.
Ooh.
Sell it.
They count as regular. Yeah, they're rare. That's the thing. Thieves' tools are rare. I suppose. Sorry, don't take 15 gold pieces. That was my. That was what they're worth. I suppose you might have a bit more of a hard time selling them. So give me a persuasion check. Yeah, you. Why not? If you wish, you could help Vel'zekiss, and Vel'zekiss can give me a persuasion check instead.
Vel'zekiss, please.
What am I doing? Persuading somebody?
You're persuading somebody to buy some thieves' tools.
Some thieves' tools for a good price.
These are worth everything you could possibly steal with them.
Go ahead, give me a persuasion check with advantage, by the way.
It's a nat 1, though. Oh,
You
with
have advantage
advantage
because Pietro's helping you.
That's a total of 15. It's
Yeah,
only a
go
7
on.
on the
I'll give you 7 gold pieces for those.
Okay. I don't imagine these rods of endless light would be wanted in
In a desert that gets dark at night.
Yeah, that's true.
You can sell them. Each one is worth a gold piece.
Do we want to keep one of them? We have 4 of them. Do we want to keep
Just sell all 4.
all 4?
Have we used one thus far, Rico?
No, we have not.
Sell all 4.
Alrighty.
Have we used it yet? Throw it away. That was Jack's scrupulousness there, not two.
If we haven't used it within 10 sessions, we get rid of it.
1 gold each.
Oh, but you can't sell Fenric. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, Mark. Rico.
We have this enduring spell book. I don't know how easily we'll be able to offer
that is an easy sell. There is literally a guy selling scrolls and other magical stuffs. And the enduring spell book really should use the is 5 gold pieces.
Beautiful. You got that, Jack?
Yeah.
Now we have blue sapphires. They were listed to us at 10 gold pieces per, and we have 7 of them.
Yep. So you'll get a good price for these. So you'll get 7 sevens, 49. We'll round that to 50.
50 gold.
You get more than half price on gems here.
Did anyone need a blue sapphire for any reason? Any sort of spell component, or because they wanted to make a nice piece of jewelry?
Do you want to hold on to one, Joe?
Yeah, let's hold on to one for Joe, maybe.
Well, I was just looking at, I have a few gems in my separate sack, too, that I can't remember if I was saving to use for things, or
do you have a blue
just
sapphire?
for money. No, I don't have a sapphire.
Add one to that.
You
your
do
pack,
now.
then.
So take 42 instead. Yeah, so add
40 gold, and then Joe add one blue sapphire to his pouch.
Yep.
Yeah. The rest of the things are sort of magic items. I doubt that we'll ever use a firebomb, since most of us can do more damage than that.
They are worth quite a lot of money here because they use them to clear the sand rocks. So you'll get almost max price for those.
Luckily,
find
we
the
have 6 of
potion
them.
store. Potions. I'm just scrolling backwards and forwards. I'm not seeing it at all. Potions, here we go. Firebomb. So they are 6 gold pieces to buy. You can sell them at 4 gold pieces each.
So 4, and we have 6 of them.
So 24 gold pieces. Do you want to try and sell like one big ticket magical item just to get yourself?
Just to try?
Just to see where you're at. Like you had 2
You
stars.
should
of
sell the
void, for
blessed
example.
stuff. Oh.
No, we can't sell that. That was Corrie's. What are you talking about?
That's why I'm like, get rid of it.
Do we want to offload this Hognax Great Club? That is fucking.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
40
ridiculous.
pounds.
No one's gonna wield it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you try and sell a particularly rare magical item, you will be told that you should head to the Sheik's palace. He has a large collection of unusual magical items and is always looking to purchase more for his collection. It is worth
he
noting
open to
he will
trade?
never sell anything from his collection. He will only
He won't even
buy for
trade.
pure gold. No, he only ever wants to add to the collection. The collective have been trying to purchase some of the pieces off of him for years. He has this red dragon mask that is like super powerful and really cool magic, and he just keeps it in a glass display cabinet. Like they're furious, the collective. But he will
This dude
potentially.
ain't a dragon?
Sorry.
You sure this dude ain't a dragon?
Because he always wants to add to his hoard.
Oh. Sorry, I completely missed what you said. But yeah, so you can absolutely try and sell him magical goods, and he may well pay well for them. So this great club, Hognat's Great Club, is it +2? Am I right?
No. So we have a +2 Great Club, and then we have something called Hognax Great Club. Both of them are rare weapons.
And they're both +1.
The Hognax is not even plus anything. It just adds 2d6 damage to
Oh,
any...
that's way better. Yes, it's great. It's basically a vicious.
Yeah, more or less. Also, I have to quickly use the bathroom.
We're gonna take a break in literally 30 seconds.
I might not last 30 seconds.
Go ahead. I'm just letting everybody else know. So that is 250 gold pieces. Grognax.
What?
Yeah. It's 450 to buy a vicious weapon. They're really powerful. And he will love this. He'll put it on a sort of long table. And we'll roleplay a little bit of that after the break, as we will be right back. Hello, and welcome back to the second half of Elsewhither. As you are told that perhaps you might speak with the Sheik in his palace, as he is a collector and curator of rare and magical goods. You guys can weave your way through the markets and up to this palace. The reason the palace stands above all the other buildings is not only that it is quite a big building, but you can see it has been built on this huge raised dais. The whole building has been built up on it. So they've got sort of 3 long platforms that must have taken a lot of work to put in place, raising this building sort of up at least sort of 15 feet. And then you've got these vaunted steps sort of going up that way. As you approach the steps, a man in sort of, it looks at first like he's wearing shining gold armor, but as he gets closer, you will see what he actually has is sort of a white robe with gold plating over his sort of elbows and knees, like his skating pads, and then a small chest plate. And as he sort of looks at you, do you seek the Sheik? And you can see that he has obviously practiced that sentence a lot. Because he does not hesitate over it nor laugh as James did.
Yes, we have a riches.
You bring him
Salary.
items of interest. You will wait here. And you see that he takes out this little tiny whistle and he blows it and nothing happens. And then very dramatically, a wizard just appears on the stairs in front of you. He sort of raises his hand. He's wearing a blue robe. And Vel'zekiss, you can give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Sure. 21.
Yeah, as he arrives, you see him sort of let go of a bracelet that he was obviously using an item to teleport in this way. And not only that, he doesn't land. He tries to like raise his hand, but he sort of tremors a little bit. He's not hugely confident. You can see this is a display of might beyond his own personal ability, and he probably can't repeat this feat today. As he sort of arrives, and says, I have been summoned.
How are you going to get back where you came from?
We'll walk in together. And he sort of weighs it in nothing, and he sort of takes out a one, and I take it you have items that need inspecting for curses. You wouldn't be trying to curse our sheik now, would you?
But I thought he doesn't use them, was the word on the street.
He does not, but nevertheless you bring a curse into the collection, and we never know what might happen. I am the mighty Blumenthal, and I will be inspecting your items, and he takes out his wand. What do you wish to sell him? He sort of raises it in, he's sort of quivering almost aggressively at you with this wand of detect magic.
Would you prefer them in a heap or on a table of some sort?
What one of your hands will do, unless you cannot carry them, at which point you may place them on the ground in front of you.
I guess we go into quite a process, I would imagine.
Well, it's only, you're only selling, we can, you sort of drag items out one by one, but he will only really take note of three things. First of all, this giant mole clatters onto the side, and he said, that's slightly inconvenient, isn't it? Wow. It doesn't appear all that magical, just quite powerful. And then he will look over this staff of the void and go, oh my God, what on earth is that? It reeks of strange magics.
Guided from the dead hands of a mind flayer.
Right, that you did. You can see he totally doesn't believe you. And he goes, yes, cursed but not cursed, it would seem. Oh, put it back in the bag, it's horrible. What else have you got for me? And then you bring out this battle standard of infernal power with a quasit in a cage. He looks at it, he's just like, have you come from the very nine hells themselves?
We've just defeated those who have been there, perhaps.
Well, do you? And then he sort of goes back to the text magic and he's, that's just vile, isn't it? Oh, put it away, I don't want to see it. Right, back to the palace we go. And then you see him enact another spell, and it's a little pathetic, to be honest, because he can't cast fly, so he casts levitate. And then you'll see that he sort of takes the arm of the guard, as if he's going to sort of, he tries to make it look like he's walking of his own accord, but he's quite clearly drifting along like a flag or a kite.
So Pietro will sort of raise up to about the same height and fly alongside him, but obviously slightly behind him. And I will telekinetically push his other side to even himself out.
He will give me a second. I didn't act close to this because I don't want to give away his stats. He sort of. And then seeing what you're doing, he will just stop concentrating on levitate and walk. He knows that his petty parlor tricks are not going to impress any of you. He sort of.
Take no offense. I was simply trying to assist.
He walks a little closer to you and. I have a role to perform. But seeing a real wizard, perhaps it's not worth the efforts.
What is a real wizard? You both study the man?
No, my calling is that of a bard. But I use these entrapments, and he'll show you. He's got the wand of detect magic, he's got the bracelet of Misty Step, and he's got a ring that allows him to levitate. And he's basically trying to look like a wizard in these wizardly robes, but he's totally a bard. He has he's a performer, but he is not a wizard.
Not to be dickish, I'll sort of be like, you fooled me. Bravo.
You weren't looking too closely, too busy trying to guard your capacity in a cage. The sheik will be delighted with the items you brought. And then he sort of, as he arrives, he booms out using some sort of spell. This does appear to come from him. You would assume it is bardcraft, not thaumaturgy. And sort of, and arriving, we have 5.
The Unchained.
We have the Unchained. 5 grand adventurers from the East. He hesitates and then guesses. I should have asked that question first. And then you hear this sort of piping of the herald, and these two grand doors open, and you are led through what is effectively a museum. Aisle upon aisle of magical display cases housing all sorts of strange items. You see what looks to be a taxidermy owl, but with literal gold eyes, like gold coins for eyes. You see a tiny little statue of an ivory goat next to what appears to be some sort of black crown with moving tentacles. You see a golden crown beset with many jewels, diamonds, rubies, and sapphires that you would know to be a helm of brilliance. And you sort of carry on past all of these. You find old tomes and such, and standing at the top of this dais in front of a throne is a very imposing man. He stands very tall. He's completely bald. He's black of skin, has this large sort of gold torque, and then he's completely shirtless below that. And then from his waist, he sort of has this leather, almost kilt, wreathed with a gold belt. And he has these gold arm cuffs on, huge gold bracelets, many rings. And he sort of stands there. He's sort of this perfect form of a man, almost 6'4", rippling with muscles. And he looks down. And, well, it is my pleasure to house the Unchained. Please, perhaps a less formal setting. Do you bring me items for curation?
Nah, nothing needs curing, but we just brought some stuff you might want.
Wonderful. Gifts, or do I need to get my purse?
I looked at Pietro.
I'll look to Vel'zekiss to sort of help me out here.
Well, if we've been carrying them for some time, I think we could carry them a little longer until if we couldn't find suitable exchange here.
Then you are seeking to sell. Very well. Perhaps I have a room near the treasury, which might be a little more convenient. And some very soft sofas in there, shall we? And he sort of Blumenthal, go somewhere else. He waves the wizard off, and then he will lead you down the corridor alone, no guards at all. You saw there was one guard next to his throne who was sort of reclining on a small chair and speaking quite casually. He walks through these sort of rich trappings. There's beautiful drapes over each entrance. There is a mosaic of that it seems to include many gems on one wall. On another wall, a beautiful sort of landscape painting. And he sort of walks past these as if they're nothing. And he says, "So, where have you come from?"
Most lately from the south. A mine there was overrun by mind flayers, it turned out.
Mine in the south? They have a map somewhere. Some adventurers came and looked at it and went that way.
In fact, it did seem that many had been there before us, and one of our present companions was among those, in fact.
And finally,
was my home for many years.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I would hate to live underground. The sun is a big part of my life. And then he sort of looks at you all, but it seems you have unearthed the riches of the mines, have you? And indeed emancipated the slaves.
We have indeed, although some of these items come from various other travels from Mazrea down there. So,
wonderful. An eclectic group, widely travelled. Oh, pleasing. I'm so glad you've come to my humble town. Welcome to my home. Do you drink coffee? There's a delicacy here.
What's coffee?
A fairly bitter drink, sometimes sweetened by sugar, that enlightens the senses and brings a raised state of awareness. I can't stand it.
Like Nepeta?
No, not at all. A little more focused in the buzz. Like the cacao plant, but a little stronger and more bitter.
I will have a cup if you'd be so gracious.
And you see him sort of as he rounds a corner. A servant sort of like comes up immediately and just ready to listen. He says, "We'll have a pot of coffee, some iced water, some perhaps the juice of the guava as well." And then he will lead you into a very informal setting, given the grandeur of all the chambers you've been to. There are 4 quite squishy sort of couches laid around the room, one on each side. And you'll see just past one couch, there's a little tiny regular wooden door. And he says that we're adjacent to the treasury, and you just think his treasury is behind this regular wooden door. So it will be easy for me to pay you. Please take a seat anywhere you like. And then the servant shortly afterwards comes in with this beautiful, priceless crystal decanter that is clearly chilling the drink inside. Inside is the juice of the guava. He hands each of you this fabulous sort of twisted crystal goblets, and then also lays out these wonderful earthenware mugs for each of you. And then later on, the coffee will come in. And the servant says, "It'll need a few more minutes to brew. I'm sure the master will be able to know when it's ready. Would you like some sweet pastries?"
We are to have a bitter
Yes.
drink. Sounds good.
So after a moment, he brings out this beautiful sort of sterling silver tray with wonderful engraving inlay upon it of these sort of little tiny pastries, sort of mini croissants, mini little sort of pain au chocolat things. There's like tiny pastries all over it, and the tray is placed in front of you. And the sheik sort of looks to you and, I suppose we haven't been formally introduced. I'm Sheik Azaral is my title, but just Azaral's fine.
James, what form is the sugar in?
Is the sugar?
Like sugar cubes?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. So there's a little tiny silver bowl with little cubes of demerara sugar.
Wonderful. I'll be munching on those.
Just pick up a sugar cube. He looks at you and he sees what you're doing and will reach over and grab a sugar cube and flick it up and catch it in his mouth and sort of has a little smile on his face like a mischievous teenager. And he nods to you. He's very pleased. And then he will ask you all to, of course, introduce yourself by name.
Well, I go by... Sorry, go on, Josh.
No. I am Vel'zekiss, yes.
Go on, Josh.
I go by many titles that I've accumulated. But you may call me Fenric. Fenric the Swift.
No need to stand on ceremony here, Fenric.
I am Nika. Just Nika.
Just Nika or Nika?
Nika. No titles.
First name Just. Last name
Or Nika the Just, I think, is what he was getting at. But yes, sure.
Oh.
He looks to you, Jack.
You can just call me Toothy.
Toothy, I like that. I like that a lot. And yourself? And he looks to Pietro.
Name is Pietro di Rocco.
See him look for a moment, and he... At the Dorocco family in Gallania.
Yes. You're familiar.
I have a beautifully cut jewel in my possession that comes from your family.
That's so.
I said jewel, but it is a crystal.
Hmm.
So yeah, he is. Anyway, a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm so glad you've come to see me. I'm sure you are dying to get your items sold and get out of here. I'm sure you have far more pressing matters than afternoon tea. 'Tis the trappings of leadership that lead us to bone idleness and little else to do other than just goods.
Isn't it afternoon coffee?
Well, it's afternoon guava juice to me. I'm not a fan of the coffee. Anybody who partakes in the coffee, it is bitter but excellent. Are there any coffee enjoyers beyond Pietro?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, but I don't put sugar in my coffee. I munch on a sugar cube and then take a swig of the coffee.
Would you partake in the coffee?
So, in my mind, guava juice might be a treat that she had as a child, sort of thing. So, she might try the coffee, but she's very excited to have the guava juice and just kind of like revel back into something familiar after being trapped in the mine for so many years.
And Toothy?
Toothy only partakes in one recreational substance.
So no coffee.
No,
Would you drink the guava juice instead, Toothy?
I would.
Water.
Okay.
Or water.
Vel, did you say coffee?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Whatever's
the four
the
of you,
fanciest at any time.
the four of you who had the coffee will have a +5 to all initiative rolls the next 24 hours. And anybody who partakes in the guava juice will have advantage on wisdom saving throws.
Need that because my wisdom is shit.
Yeah. So the stuff here is of such high quality. Each pastry sort of melts in your mouth, and you see he almost seems bored with it. He's not arrogant or he's very down to earth, but he just seems quite disinterested in all the fancy food and drink. And instead, each time you bring an item forth, he wants to know where you got it. He wants to know the story. And a few times he makes a couple of little comments, and I will take an insight check from anybody who's proficient. For example, when you bring out the Grognak's great club, he would say, oh, weapon of a giant, if I am correct.
21 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Anybody
an
else
11.
insightful?
Pietro.
Yeah, Fenric, you will quite quickly realize that he probably was an adventurer in his younger years before ascending to his position. He makes a couple of comments that imply that he would rather be adventuring than whatever this is now. And sorry, go on.
Well,
I don't know. I was halfway through my sentence. You went as if to.
so sorry.
So
I thought I was gonna say, yeah, I was, but I didn't know that you wasn't finished, so I don't want to interrupt. Sorry. I was just gonna say, does he notice the mind flayer head on my hip? But that was all I was gonna say.
He probably has noticed it, but he doesn't say anything of it. And he will say to you, I love more than anything the stories of the items. The stranger a place procured from. The more unusual the history. That's what really makes the collection for me. So this... I don't know if you're... Well, that's going to be inconvenient to get out the living room, isn't it? He sort of looks down at it and... yes, I like this. I like this a lot. We could have a large table put for it. Tell me about the battle. He will ask you about the battle that you had on the hill with that giant just before saving Maztu, was it, or Shumar? Maztu, I think.
Maztu.
Yeah. Just before saving Maztu from the goblin attack. And you say, goblin. It's exciting, isn't it? It's always sort of one of the first real troubles you have to deal with. You go from goblin attacks to mind flayers. Relatively short period of time, it seems. How good of you. Well, I'll purchase this for 250 gold pieces if you like.
Quite generous, Sheik.
250?
Yes, I think that's about right. It's not particularly magical, but it's got a great story, and it's certainly going to take up a bit of space and look quite grand. We'll do the accounting at the end, if that's all right.
This is fine.
And you see he leans forward and onto what looks like a priceless linen tablecloth. He just sort of takes out a piece of charcoal and just starts writing on the tablecloth. And there's a sort of like a little... You can see a little bit of joy to this. You know, he's really gets something out of just demeaning the fanciness of it all. And then when you bring forward this Staff of the Void, he sort of looks over it and... It's me. Runs his finger along it and... is wielded by a dark sorcerer, corrupt necromancer.
Some might say worse. A mind flayer.
The one whose head you're carrying around.
Is it?
No.
No, the mind flayer head I'm carrying around was the first one we killed.
Yeah, regular first one.
This one was particularly skilled in the arcane arts.
Always wanted a mage at the court who was skilled in the arcane arts. To do make use of Glamourthal instead. This is a rare gift. Beautiful. Are you able to enact any of its magic? Looks to Pietro.
I'm sure I could if...
If you spent time with it, of course. Are you able to tell me anything that it can do?
Well, it holds dark power.
Tool of Evil. Well, better in a collection than any somewhere else. And such a great story behind it. Does it emanate any unusual magic?
Psychic particular. It seems to hold spells that alter the mind and attack the very nature of it.
I got the impression it would protect against them to some degree as well. Influences on the mind or the damage to it.
Also a cast. Magic is your nature.
Yes, indeed.
He sort of gives you a nod. It's respectful, but you see that when he talks to each of you, he seems to have more appreciation of Fenric and Toothy than of the other three of you. You would assume that perhaps in his adventuring days, he was a martial. I mean, certainly by the rippling of his muscles, he was a martial profession. And so he sort of has a greater appreciation for those arts. He's less interested in the stuff, but he's really interested in the battle and the story. And when you tell tale of, I'm assuming of the battle, he will say, and what happened to this great Corrie that rushed in so bravely? You're not with you.
Well, you suggested that you would like to have a mage like that in your court. We found these ones in the court of an elder brain. And when we took it on along with its other servants, and Corrie didn't make it.
So sorry to hear that.
Well, neither did it, so...
It's good. It is unfortunately the life of an adventurer to lose companions. We should raise a toast. What was his name? His full name?
He was Corrie Stumblebump.
The Corrie Stumblebump. One of the Unchained. First and hopefully the last to fall. We'll have grand adventures. I'm sure you will always remember missing. Takes a sip and bows his head for a moment. I simply must have this staff then, and I'll give you 1,500 gold pieces for it.
Pietro
I
nearly spits the coffee out of his mouth from the cheers.
I start trembling, and I drop my cup.
Oh! So sorry there, Toothy. I can't get pottery with proper gripping handles. And, he sort of smiles and...
My friend is a bit of a butterfingers, not to worry.
That's the pastries covered in it, absolutely slathered in butter, aren't they? You have as many as you like. They're lovely, but they do lead to greasy fingers. This is, of course, a unique piece of stuff. He says, as you were thinking about maybe getting the other one out of your pouch. And Vel'zekiss, you of course already rolled for this, so you can just assure him that it is not. And he will sort of nod, and very well. He writes the 1,500 in charcoal on the tablecloth, and you can pull forth the final item. Battle standard of infernal power. Goodness gracious. Is that a magical beast trapped inside it?
Was it?
Because it's evil creatures.
As far as I know.
You wouldn't want to trap a beautiful, gentle creature like that. I do have some rare creatures in my collection.
I might not recommend letting this one out of its cage.
No, it does seem a bit demonic. There's a lot of demon trouble around, isn't there? This item itself seems demonic in nature. From whence did you acquire this? You were under a river, if that helps.
I was gonna say, I was like, I can tell you, but I wasn't there. It was down in the vault. It was in the series of 6 rooms. It was the upper right one that led back to the things where we got the cauldron.
Yeah, you got all those really
weird armor
really
and stuff.
unusual, and you left some behind because they were too dark. Just took this with me.
Oh, I was not there for that session.
Oh yeah.
The Cronus.
Oh yeah, that's fun. I remember impersonating you at that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellently, I may add.
You must have so many tales to look back on. So, this item is quite clearly demonic in nature. Is it going to bring any trouble to my palace?
Absolutely not.
He looks a little suspiciously at you being not a spellcaster, assuring him of this, and he sort of...
What my companion means to say is that thus far it has not brought us a trouble, so one could infer that it should bring you no imminent danger anyway.
It will make quite the display piece.
You are comfortable displaying such tainted things.
From my understanding of these such magical items, if one does not connect to them personally, they are but pieces to look at, tales to tell. Besides, it would be far less interesting tales if you were liberating goodly items from goodly people, would it not?
And it's also incredibly rare.
Persuasion check. Yes, it does seem that. Incredibly unique. An item from the Nine Hells itself, perhaps. I can at least tell from it, right?
26, bitch.
Still, yes, I must have this. It is unique.
Well,
Interesting.
I mean, it's not that dangerous a creature. Is it? We have freed things from items in the past. Perhaps we even once let an elemental out of a ring. Should we consider not leaving this closet captured in there?
No. I think it adds to it, and besides, it's obviously silenced. But look at it. It's following our conversation. No, I like this. I like this a lot. It is dark in nature, but well, perhaps I will put it imposingly next to my throne when I'm dealing with people of problematic nature in the city.
It would make people think twice before incriminating themselves again.
Yes, exactly that. I'll give you 4,000. Which is a way cut down from the prices I've been looking at on the internet, which suggests that I should be giving you somewhere between 12 and 15,000.
What did you give us originally? I can't remember now.
We never agreed originally.
We never agreed on that one.
We didn't.
No, this was
Crazy. Crazy.
How generous of you. God, thank you.
I must, I suppose, ask a boon. There's been trouble in the northwest. London is the only town for a long way. Arun, sorry, is the only town for a long, long way, so we have had many refugees come and claim that they have been attacked, or their towns have been attacked by a dragon. This dragon may be somewhat equivalent to a brain in power and danger fuel.
You speak of the Black Storm.
I've heard him called that, though I am privy to his real name. His name is Zorakthan.
I believe it is time to quell this storm.
Well, you speak bravely, but I am aware that you lost a treasured companion in your last battle, and I would not wish the same fate upon you again. No adventurers of anywhere near your might have passed through this way in a long time. In time, if you are able to stop this dragon, return to me. I shall reward you. I will not part with items from my collection for what it's worth, but...
I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, is he going to give us a choice of his most valuable?
But perhaps you could spend this endless hoard of gold on something interesting.
I'm sure we can find some use for it.
My father was a ruthless businessman who took money from his townspeople and and all else besides, taking advantage of the fact that we were the only place for miles that used gold. Those that came from the west who mined the very gold, specifically to bring it here, had no concept of his worth, and he ruthlessly took advantage of his people. I intend to spend my life giving it back, giving it to all those who bring items small and large, and will allow the townsfolk to pay no taxes. So, it will be my great pleasure to bestow a decent chunk of it upon the adventurers that quelled the Black Storm. Fenric's Storm Queller does sound quite good, does it?
Yes, but unfortunately, a lot of people may not know what the Black Storm is. I think I'd prefer Dragon Slayer.
Oh, why not both? Dragon Slayer and Storm Queller. All the titles. I have no titles to give, unless you want mine, but something tells me you would grow even more bored than I, sitting idly upon a throne over people who need no governance from I. Well, the accounting is up. He looks at you, Toothy, for an exact accounting of how much gold he needs to get, because his charcoal scribblings are a bit vague. Much do I owe you?
Including all the
already
stuff.
put
Like,
it all in.
Have you got a vague idea of how much it was in total?
I was like,
6,000 maybe? 5,000?
yeah,
7?
yeah. That sounds about right.
So
actually.
you'll say, oh, that's going to be quite the heavy chest. But you seem to have the muscles for it. And he will take one of those little whistles you saw earlier and summon it, and there's a little puff of smoke, and no wizard appears. And then walking through the door, Clementhal sort of comes in and bracelets out of charges. Sort of looks over. But this one I can help with. You need some gold extracted. I do have a way of quickly counting it. And he opens a little wooden door, and you'll see just inside the wooden door is this massive sort of iron barred vault. And he sort of looks to the Sheik, and the Sheik sort of rolls his eyes and such a ridiculous way of doing it. And he will retrieve his torque from around his head, and he will place it against 3 different points on the wall, and then place it back in these doors, and you hear all this unlocking and as they open out. And he just looks to Blamenthal. I still think it's ridiculous. We guard the gold, and then we have all those powerful magical items right next to the front door. It's ridiculous. But you assure me that those glass cases can't be broken into. So I guess. And when he opens this up, you just see chests and chests on racks of just 2 or 3 of them are open, and they're just filled with gold coins. And Blamenthal will point to 2 chests, and they will slowly rise and move over, as you see a single black ring on his finger controlling. He will say, unless you've got a particularly good way of escorting it out, I do have one of these, and he will offer you, Pietro, a scroll of floating disc.
Oh, I wave my hand. I can handle that, not a problem.
He looks at the Sheik and goes, he's a powerful wizard. And the Sheik's like, yes, I'd worked that out, if only that we could say the same of 2 people in the room. And if you will floating disc, he will telekinesis the gold, the 2 chests. One is of 5,000 and one is of 2,500, or something similar to that. So to equate to the exact amount. He won't skimp on a few extra coins. He'll make sure that you have exactly the right amount. And then he sort of looks around the treasury and reaches out and plucks out a tiny little blue pearl, like a pale blue pearl. And Pietro, he will come over to you and he'll place it in your hand and close your hand over it, and look, Corrie. So
You are most gracious. I'll slip it carefully into my pocket.
Truth be told, I have found your company far more exciting than many of the other visitors that have come by recently. So, I'm also grateful for your time. Now, I'm assuming you can defend that gold from any ne'er-do-wells that might attempt to retrieve it from you.
I should hope
Leave
so.
it to me.
We can disguise it if necessary, but it should not be necessary. Let all of the townsfolk see you come forth bespoiled with the riches. The Sheik. Perhaps it will encourage them to collect unusual and interesting items, preferably not with in too dangerous a manner. Please enjoy the town and go with my blessing.
Mr. Sheik, sir.
Just Azra.
Just, I go up to him and I give him a little rock with a face on it. And I go...
Oh, I know
Corrie
what these
would-
are.
Corrie would want you to have this.
Hand sort of looks at it. Little smirk. The same sort of smirk he gave when writing on the priceless linen tablecloth with his charcoal, or when popping a sugar cube in his mouth. There's a little bit of mischief, a little bit of fun to him, and he's sort of... I'm honored. Absolutely honored. He takes it and he sort of holds it in his hand, and you see him. I wish I could travel with you, but few as they are, I do have my responsibility. May the gods guide you on your way.
Before we go, if I may, Pietro wants to sort of approach Azrael and take his hand and sort of pull in close and say something along the lines of, you are a good man, Azrael.
Try to.
Your story speaks to me.
Yours
And I
to
am
me.
glad. I am glad to have met you.
Pietro. You're much more pleasant than the other man that I met who brought me the crystal from your family. I don't think he was part of the family, though he claimed to be. He was no Genasi, that's for sure.
I fear I may not be considered part of that family anymore either, but
We are beholden to our ancestors, one way or another. So you will find more freedom than I. But hopefully not quite as much joy. And with that, he sort of smiles and am going to really enjoy putting these new items in my collection. Thank you so much, all of you. Travel well. With that, he will retreat back into his sandstone jail. Blumenthal will sort of, wonderful to meet you, and goodbye. Waving his wand of detect magic around his head like an idiot.
Goodbye.
Yeah, he'll head inside, and you guys can depart with your riches. You mentioned wanting some potions in town. Guys, let me just give you that pricing real quick. Are you looking for just regular greater healing potions? Something more than that? Something less?
maybe
Well, the whole
some.
fucking shop.
Yeah, like, well, we have
No, we need to fully upgrade the tower and
Yeah,
have everything.
Right.
we need to power up.
Let
Some
me-
greater, some superior, I guess, is the other. Which is
Let me. I will let you guys do a few of these over the week, but those are the ones you'd be able to get. So that's 10 for the common, 50 for the greater, 150 for the superior. So they are quite a whack, the superior healing potions.
Yeah.
maybe a bunch of great.
Yeah, it's up to you guys. I think actually we'll let you guys go buy the actual useful stuff over the break. I'll give you a short little price list of the potions. But one thing you will be able to do is to sort of peruse the market for the more interesting things. Vel'zekiss, you will find a man selling little weighted balls of gold, silver, bronze, brass for use in crafting. And he also has some interesting sort of regular metals that have, you would call them flaws, but he thinks they're really interesting. So, for example, there's a piece of brass, a little piece of copper that sort of twists around it in an unusual way, giving it a discoloration. There's some gold with some red hue to it. That is clearly, he's selling them for less than the pure gold, but in some ways they're very interesting pieces. So you're able to really peruse and get an idea of what you might want. You don't need to buy anything now, as I said. We'll do that over the break, but it's just worth noting what you see. All of you will be interested when you pass these sort of really. There's a coffee salesman, and there's loads and loads of beans out, some of which are quite cheap, but you do see some really good coffee beans like the ones you had back there at the town, which may now interest you. You will see lots of candied fruits, dried fruits, lots of unusual nuts and beans and rices and grains and all sorts of else of interesting foodstuffs that you could buy, as well as, of course, fresh vegetables, fruit that is native to this sort of area, the papaya, the guava, the pineapple, and oranges and lemons, all quite popular here, so you can buy all that sort of stuff. And sort of winding, so I just realized we're listening to the Sheik's music and not the Bazaar music. I do have lovely music for this, so I really should have it on. As you sort of head on through, you will see that they're selling livestock, that they're selling camel rides to children, pretty much anything and everything you can imagine in this type of area. There are beautiful tapestries and woven rugs and things that could potentially make your tower feel a little more homely, including some beautiful, they're like thick blankets that are used 2 different wools, like interwoven. So you'll see like this, parts of them are like this thick, unusual weave, and then other parts this really thin weave coming across, weaving these sort of unusual and almost ununderstandable, nonsensical patterns that just sort of randomly fall through it in different colors.
I have a question.
Yep.
Are they random, or are any of them symbols in Thieves' Cant?
They're not symbols in Thieves' Cant.
I will make use of this skill one day.
But it is worth noting
At some
with
point.
Thieves' Cant that you would know about some gill marks. And gill marks are warnings, usually, to other thieves within Thieves'
Yep.
Cant. Almost every single stall has the same marking. Steer clear. And that's by thieves for thieves.
Yeah, so I think the reason why Fenric knows these kind is not because he's a thief, but in his attempt to stop thieves where he's from,
He's learned about
he learnt the code. Exactly, yes.
So interestingly,
so
it's almost like protected by the Thieves Guild.
that's what I was going to ask. Is it that kind of steer clear? Is it steer clear like he's got a shotgun, don't enter?
No.
Can
Can you imagine one shotgun to rule the world in this land? Yeah, or perhaps not at all. I suppose shotgun and fireball are probably not quite equal in power. But no, this is the Thieves Guild are protecting these markets, etc.
Interesting.
You may give me an insight check with advantage. I'll take an insight check from Vel as well. Vel might know this too.
I got an 18.
10.
No, Vel does not know it. But Fenric, you would know that a place where only one town uses gold is an incredible place to launder your money.
Yeah,
they are using this market to wash all their gold from like Mazrea. So this is, you really get the impression that there's a heavy thieves presence somewhere near here. Obviously, we could go and wipe out a thieves guild, or you could buy some beans and move on with life. And you'll also see these sort of large white robes. These sort of they come high to the neck and fall all the way to the floor. Very popular. They're keeping the sun off of you. And lots and lots of unusual and interesting things. One stall that might catch your eye is a bird stall. There is a guy selling little tiny cages of various exotic birds, from canaries.
Is there a timber?
No large seabirds here. Instead, you will see little canaries and parakeets and all macaws and stuff like that. Macaws aren't small at all, but yes, lots of unusual birds. As you're walking past, one of them just goes at you. And then you can sort of see at the next stall they're selling sort of these tiny little sort of hunting dogs. They're quite small. You hold them in your hand, but they're sort of sniffer dogs and they're relentless. They're also known as rat dogs. And he will, the salesman is displaying how, as he holds up this stick with a sort of meat bit on it, how the dog literally dangles from it with his teeth, sort of aggressively, as like a bulldog almost. And more and more. One thing you won't see much of is magical items. You see a few odd little bits, some of those spell-absorbing crystals, a couple of basic scrolls. But one thing that will catch your eye and you'll note is this large central, almost like a basin at the middle of the market. And set into it is this bright silver stone. And you can see people go up there and place their hand on the stone and walk away with the grime of the road, the sand, the dirt. These are basically stones of cleansing, used as basins, and there's also drinking water around it. So people will go there, drink, and then wash themselves head to foot by placing their hand on it.
Cool.
Is there anything in particular, apart from the potions, that you guys would be seeking in such a strange or unusual market?
Are there any like, obviously you can't get packets of them because plastic's not a thing, but are there any like little, is anyone selling chocolate covered coffee beans?
Ooh, perhaps you need to start a new business. Chocolate is a thing here. The cacao plant becomes more and more sort of sacred as you head west. Sort of a little, the old Incas, sort of this Chilean chocolate drink is definitely the most popular way of seeing chocolate being sold. But you do see these little sort of chocolate-covered nuts. There's no coffee beans there, but they have lots of different nuts covered in chocolate there that seem to be quite popular. They've also got chocolate-covered chili peppers, which is a delicacy here. Yeah, a little fiery.
What kind of nuts are covered in chocolate?
You got everything from pistachio, walnut, Brazil nuts, hazelnut,
wonderful.
almonds.
Could I just get like a little? I don't know if they sell them, like a bunch of like.
I want to take away one of your inspirations, Mark. I don't think I didn't hear that. Sorry, Josh. I was very distracted by somebody else misbehaving. What did you say?
Do they like sell like I don't know, like a pouch of them, little boxes of them?
They've got these sort of little twisted, sort of miniature versions of burlap sacks, really, that they sell them in.
Cool. Could I get a burlap sack of chocolate-covered whole nuts and hazelnuts?
Yeah, absolutely.
How much do you want for them?
It's a couple of copper pieces. It's nothing major.
Wonderful.
But you can just enjoy sort of eating them. And there are lots of food delicacies around that you guys can enjoy.
Would they count as good berries?
No. And lots of things that are sort of like meat on stick type delicacies. Lots of cheese on stick. Cheese seems to be a big thing here. And often it looks like it's either being slightly grilled or charred. Mostly sort of halloumi style cheese. Yeah. Anybody looking for something slightly more practical? Food. Don't have to be. I'm just curious. Okay. As you are moving through the market, one gentleman stops you. He's completely black of skin, has got eyes that sort of shine slightly golden. Excuse me. I think I saw you down by the Oasis. You were of the big tower, yes?
Yes, that was us.
You are a powerful wizard. Yes. All of you.
We are powerful, yes.
Some of us are wizards.
Could you help me?
Well, if you're one of the many people of this area that's been troubled by the Black Dragon, we certainly intend to.
No Black Dragon. Strange magic in my house.
What kind of a
Beneath.
strange magic?
Beneath my house. It brings bad luck. I will show.
So
Lead
look
the
at
way.
the rest of them. Like, yeah, like, it sounds similar enough to some things we've seen that it might be worth checking out.
There's a summon
That's what I
demon
would
in
say.
his inn. No, I'm kidding. He will lead you to his house and he will say, my wife, she wanted more space in the house, but there was no space to build out, so we build down, we dig. And we create cellar. But we get down to here and he just gestures down the cellar and you can literally see pulsing red light coming from it.
Oh my god, is there?
Dug too greedily and too deep.
It's like
Something out of the Age of Dead.
first 8 feet down. It's like, well, that was it.
Perhaps you and your wife should step out of the house.
When we were digging, the ground began to give way easily. It looked like somebody had filled this in. We were sold the house cheap. Perhaps now we know why.
Maybe them base of Moloch balls down there.
Always best to do your due diligence before purchase.
He sort of gives you a funny look, because it's like,
Wait,
Should've dug into the house before purchasing it. Yeah, definitely. But he smiles and thank you for any assistance you can give. He gives you a bow and he leaves. It is worth mentioning you have seen now that quite a few of the people here are ASMR.
Is that what Earth Genasi do, Pietro? Do they dig beneath their homes before purchase?
Their homes are dug beneath.
You know, the artisanat, you can tell through inspection and the sampling of the ground whether or not it's a suitable place for construction.
Maybe that should be a business.
It
Like,
is,
send Earth Genasi to homes. Oh, then
That is
maybe
one
you
of-
should get them in touch with one.
I like the idea when you said sampling of the ground, that Genasi sort of just walked in and just take a bite out of the earth. Sort of eat the
Case
rock.
cursed.
This is silty. This is silty soil.
Guys, when you head down here, you will recognize this sigil. You have seen it before, long ago, underneath Maztu, where you saw the Black Angels.
I guess.
You mean on these
All of-
daggers?
Yes, exactly, those sigils. You saw them when you saw these cultists with those horrible scythes, and that man did. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Well, there you go.
Whoa.
You can have a look at his picture. You tried to sell him a scythe, and he said, "I don't want to be associated with this cult. I know of them."
Right.
And this particular sigil is where they have ritualistically sacrificed people. You saw that before, in the name of this god. It would take a regular dispel magic to get rid of it, which I'm sure you would be very capable of.
So yes.
What is this sigil?
Oh, that's right. You weren't with us, Fenric.
Ikaru's like, yeah, what's this? You know, like,
Yeah.
by the end of the campaign, it'll just be one guy being like, oh, for fuck's sake, was no one there?
Yeah, it's going to be one of us, one man left standing of the original group.
We had a run-in with these occultists long ago.
What do they worship?
I think it's fair to say at this point, all of you would know that they are trying to raise one person to godhood. You have been told this by each other or by... Go on.
Wait, Pietro, I think I know. This is that cult that's trying to ascend a singular person, correct?
Can anyone give me her name?
Ooh.
Sierra.
Ooh.
I did like these guys, and I'm sure I wrote it down, but I'll never find it in time.
The one in-
Lysandra.
The one in the same.
Alessandro.
Kyoru or something like that.
Yo, have a D8. Absolutely, it is Kyoru. The Black Angels believe they can raise their leader Kyoru, the Reaper of the Night, to godhood through sacrifice.
Of course. How could I forget?
Yes, indeed. So you might have heard rumors of this in Mazrea when you first came over, Fenric. You, Nika, might have heard the rise of this cult like the beginnings of them, because they're quite associated originally with the Savage West, because they thought their presence would go much more hidden where there wasn't a joint politic. You know that they're now, you would all know now that they're a bit more widespread. But yes, in dismissing this, you sort of sense an alleviation of weight in the building. And it probably was giving them quite bad luck, bad juju, if you will. When you speak to this man and he sort of comes down and sees this. Amazing. Do you have a name I can proclaim to others other than the group of the tower? The tale of your amazing deeds. Don't.
We are the breaker of chains.
Oh, yes. Soon you will... Don't mother that dragon, though. Like, do kill it. Yeah. Like, don't be that guy. But he will sort of look at you and... I have little to give, but my wife, she makes these. And he will give you a candle.
I thought that was going to be the end of the sentence then. I don't have much to give but my wife.
No. His wife makes candles, and he will give you a single beeswax taper. And it's said to bring peaceful dreams.
Wonderful.
That's nice.
Wait, was I here?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, I thought I was going into like a coal-infested.
No, there's one sigil on the ground.
Great, I'm so glad we came down here.
Further, like, +5 to initiative. Let's go.
I know, literally.
I want to kill something.
No, where you are going is to the timeless tradition of MVPs, as we will approach the early afternoon in this town. It's sort of it's Dreamrise the 27th. It's probably 11 a.m. Maybe a little later actually. Let's make it 1 p.m. Or let's just break everything. It's sort of 1 p.m. in the afternoon. You have a whole day to go and stab things, should you wish. But we'll come to the timeless tradition of MVPs. I have lots. I will give one little one to Jack's face when I said Bamas in the dragon's accent. And I could just see him sort of like the little naughty school kid at the back of the class, just have a little chuckle. It absolutely sent me. So that was my little tiny one. We will, why not? We'll stop and check.
I gotta, like, there are a lot of, like, quips to give out, but, like, I'll stick with one that maybe, it wasn't a quip, but it was very funny and nonetheless. Rico's eyebrows today and, like, your expressions were on point. Like, you were doing eyebrow, like, movements all over the place. This session. It was great.
I don't think I've ever had anything given to Rico's eyebrows before. Mark.
It was Toothy giving the soapstone to the Sheik, doing the little like carving from the pouch. It was really cool. It was a really touching moment.
Absolutely.
Had to be done.
Josh.
I think probably the lesson with the dragon, kind of like, you're 12 hours in and he's just finished telling you the history of the spell of Cure Wounds, let alone teaching you how to use it.
You've got a few thousand years to live, you're not in a hurry. Speaking of which, obviously, Rico, you can add that feat. Like, I don't know if you did that at the time, but you can,
I have not yet.
You can absolutely add that feat. Like, it should happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Joe.
Jack, the curation. We have nothing here needs curing.
We don't need anything curing.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. My wife has a degree in curatorial museum stuff, and it's just like, also the word gets overused everywhere. This was a totally correct use of it, but then so it was like, we're still gonna warp it. It's just like, what is it? I don't know. It's just quick. It's good. I love wordplay. I think that's. I don't know. I'll also give this because Rico's not going to give it to himself, but just the idea, because Rico, don't you do in real life, you like building inspector stuff or something like that? Yeah. Right. So just getting into this whole thing at the end where it's like, I don't know if he's enjoying this or if this is invading his fantasy with his day-to-day work, and it's annoying. But it's like, no, you have to. Yeah, you gotta buy the house. You gotta check the records, see if it's up to code.
See if there's a buried magical sigil.
Hire a professional, come inspect it, man.
And Rico, your MVP.
There are a lot of great moments actually, but I think that I will, speaking from Pietro's mouth, would give it to meeting the Sheik and sort of the revelation of the Sheik's story and how very similar it is to Pietro's own journey of sort of being disowned or distancing himself from his ruthless family and trying to do good in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's quite sad, really. I mean, obviously, in some ways, he's been given so much money he can't really spend it, and a wonderful palace and all these delicacies, and from his perspective, what he's actually been given is a really pointless role that he feels jailed in when he was an adventurer. So it's I think he's a really interesting character, and that's why I wanted to bring him into roleplay. It's quite a contrast when he's then willing to purchase a battle stand of infernal power, right? So it's I think there's a lot of texture to him. I'm really glad that you guys.
I wasn't so sure in the beginning. I wanted to grill him. I was looking for the opportunity to sort of like start questioning like how he came into such wealth and this and that, but he ended up being quite forthcoming, and so
we're gonna see him again, so we get to experience him again.
Yeah, well, if you defeat the dragon, you can come back and talk to him.
If we kill the dragon, yeah.
Otherwise, it might just be.
If a bunch of us die, we can come back and get a few more pearls.
4 people that haven't been here. Yes, just slowly changing the cast as we go. So I've got a few little ones. Obviously, we're kind of nuts with ADs. Idiot. I just idiot. When Rico's response to how was your lesson, it was beautiful. Vel'zekiss with the sarcastic bow. I really like that. And Fenric with the kind of Fenric didn't really want to bow at all, so he just gave it a little head jerk, and then Vel'zekiss sort of overly florid. Was really cool. I like the contrast. That was really cool. It was nice having a session where we sort of basically turned you walk to a city and you sell some shit into actually being worth doing. And I think one of the main purposes of Elsewhither is to explore the places, the people, and the world. And I really enjoyed how much you guys bought into that today. So I was very grateful. Go on, John.
Well, I don't suppose we got 1,420 experience points.
No, but I was going to tell you out of session, but I'll tell you in session, seeing as you ask. You gain 30 experience points for getting to a new city. Isn't that nice? That's well on your way to a next level. And 150 for gaining the Sheik's story, and 200 for not 200, 20. My bad. For dispelling the rune under the thingy. So 30, 150, and 20, which I think makes it a nice round 200.
Yeah. Very nice.
Misread that. I'm not giving you 200 experience points for casting Dispel Magic. That's ridiculous. He's got a candle. And on that note, that is how we're going to end. If you guys would like to say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
We shall see you soon.